Hi, I'm Jen. I'm a professional organizer of a company called the Simply Sorted Home in Seattle. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about closet organizing and more specifically, tips to help you when it comes to purging your clothes and decluttering your wardrobe. But before I hop into that, if you are someone who loves organizing tips and tricks and really simple solutions that won't have you breaking out a hammer or a drill, first thing to do is please subscribe to my channel. I'm often updating this channel with different videos for tips that you can do around the house. But until then, let's talk closet organization. When it comes to deciding what clothes to keep and what to toss and donate, there's 5 questions that I always walk my clients through. And this works with clients and this also works with my husband. So I can attest, I've done it myself, it works. But one question to ask yourself, the obvious one is, do you love it? And if you've ever read or seen Marie Kondo, you know that her whole philosophy is around this very concept. Does it spark joy? I like to kind of rephrase it to, does it give you the warm fuzzies? Does it make you feel like a badass when you put it on? And if it does, then in most cases, it's worth keeping. Next question is, do you need it? I mean, obviously you're not gonna love every single item that's in your closet. There are those items that we all need. Maybe it's scrubs if you're in the medical industry. Maybe it's as simple as having those torn jeans so that on those days where you do yard work or you're gonna venture into a whole DIY project, you have that clothes at your disposal. The question here is, how many of those need items do you really need? And so in the example of yard work pants, do you need a dozen of these, or will 1 or 2 do the trick? In most cases, 1 or 2 will do the trick. So pick your favorites out of that pile and donate the rest of them. The next question that I like to ask is, if the conditions were right tomorrow, would you wear it? So there's so many examples that fall into this category. If the weather was perfect tomorrow, if it was a nice warm summer day, or on the flip side, if it's a really cold day, would you wear that pair of shorts or that sweater? If you had an interview tomorrow, is that the suit you would wear, or would you still end up going elsewhere to buy, your power outfit for that interview? And again, how many interview pieces do you need? It's likely that maybe 2 or 3 coordinating pieces is enough to get you by. If you are going to keep those pants because one day you'll fit back into them, again, how many of those pieces do you really need? In those instances, if you get to your ideal body weight, then it could be worth keeping, a handful of those favorite pieces from however long ago you were at that body weight. Or it could be even more fun to really treat yourself and buy yourself a new wardrobe when that time comes. The other question that I typically ask is, would you buy it again at full price? So in so many cases, people hold on to things because they got such a great deal on it. It's not a great deal if you're not wearing it. So it doesn't matter if you paid $2 for that t-shirt at a Banana Republic outlet store or wherever it might be. If you're not wearing it, donate it, give it to someone who is going to see that value and get that enjoyment and that joy sparking out of it. The flip side, it's also true if it was a splurge item. It doesn't matter if it was your first splurge handbag or the first expensive pair of shoes that you've purchased. If you're not wearing them, don't keep it. If anything, it's just this constant reminder of the money you've spent and the fact that you're never getting any use out of it. So again, donate it, sell it at consignment, and let someone else have an opportunity to give it the love that it really deserves. The final question is, would you fight to keep it? In most cases, if you're kind of tight on closet space, or you're sharing a closet space with a significant other, there's a limit to how many items of clothing that you could keep. But in this case, are you passionate enough to debate with your significant other that it's worth keeping, that it's worth taking that limited space that you do have? In most cases, this is the one question where it's almost the easiest one for my husband and I when we're going through this process, because in most cases I don't love that shirt enough to fight for it or to argue that it should be kept in the closet. So in most cases it gets tossed in the donate pile pretty quickly. And so that's basically as simple as that. Those are the 5 questions that I typically ask in any exercise. So again, to recap them: 1, do you love it? 2, do you need it? 3, would you wear it again if the conditions were right? 4, would you buy it again at full price? And number 5, would you fight to keep it? And so if you ask yourself those 5 questions, and if you're really honest with yourself as you ask those 5 questions, you should be able to get rid of a pretty significant portion of your clothing. If you're really honest with yourself as you ask those 5 questions, you should be able to get rid of a pretty significant portion of your clothing. And in most cases, you'll know you did this right, or if you've done a really good job, if over the next several weeks it becomes really easy for you to decide what to wear. And if it isn't, what that's telling you is, it's probably worth your time to go through this exercise 1 or 2 more times until picking those clothes each day is fairly easy and enjoyable. So give it a shot. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If there are other questions that you typically ask yourself that you find work really well, let me know too. I'm always looking to tighten this exercise. So yeah, again, just shoot a comment and send it my way. But good luck. If you do go through this exercise too, send me some photos. Tag me on Instagram or on Facebook. I'd love to see the before and afters. So good luck.